Welcome back to Limitless Sports with Brennan and Dave. We are here again on a beautiful Sunday morning. Back in studio with you, recording, and going to talk about a lot of topics today. Brennan, how was your week so far?
Oh, okay, Dave. Opening day was Thursday. I enjoy baseball season because what that means? Summer's right around the corner.
Amen.
It wasn't the opening day you wanted.
No, it never is with the Pirates, but one day maybe. We'll talk a little bit about Pirates at the end of the show today. But we do have to start off with some very heartfelt news. Yesterday morning at 6:37, Dwayne Haskins was struck by a dump truck in Florida, crossing the westbound lanes of Interstate 595 where there was some oncoming traffic. They said the quarterback was walking on a limited access facility, which is a highway or expressway for unknown reasons. Very sad breaking yesterday, and watching all the Ohio State players that played with him and all the former coaching staff commenting. It was a surreal moment, especially for me, where it's my alma mater, one, and when Dwayne came to Ohio State, and I was reflecting on this yesterday. So I got there in the fall of 2014. That was JT Barrett's freshman year. 15 was when Joe Burrow came in as a freshman. So everyone was like, they never knew what to expect for Joe Burrow because he wasn't a highly recruited quarterback. But in 16, Tate Martell, who was this big 5-star quarterback, came in, and they offered Dwayne at the last second. Dwayne wasn't supposed to be our number one.
He wasn't going to be the guy.
He wasn't supposed to be, no. And as he came in, and I watched a lot of his film, I was really excited because I was like, this could be the quarterback that changes the face of the Ohio State offense. Because we for years, we didn't have a quarterback that actually would transmit to the NFL. They weren't a big arm quarterback. So that's 2016 was my junior season. Junior school year. And then going into senior year, he was up for the backup job between Burrow. Burrow broke his hand, and so he got the upper hand. And I'll never forget the Michigan game where JT was hurt. Dwayne comes in, throws a bullet of a pass to Austin Mack in between defenders, and then he led that team back to victory. And so the following week, we were supposed to go play the Big Ten Championship, and everybody was mad because they wanted to start JT even though he was banged up. And I said, this is the moment for Dwayne to showcase. Let's just roll with this. And they didn't, but yeah, Dwayne was a quarterback that he was one of my favorite ones at Ohio State. JT was, but I was always frustrated with JT.
He was the most pro-ready quarterback. I was even thinking about that, before you got here in the studio today. At all the quarterbacks, we watched over the past few years, starting even with Braxton Miller, JT, Chandler Jones for that quick, short stint in the playoff, Justin Fields. Cardell Jones, sorry.
You're okay.
Justin Fields, Dwayne Haskins. If Dwayne Haskins would have stayed that extra year at Ohio State like everyone wanted him to, he would have been the number one pick of the draft. That he probably would. This probably wouldn't have happened.
That's what I wanted to say. He has that phenomenal year in fall of 18, and the hard thing though is looking at the following year, because in 19, that's when Justin Fields came on. So if Dwayne doesn't leave, Justin Fields doesn't become the quarterback of Ohio State. Also, though, if Dwayne stays, he goes out the same draft class as Joe Burrow. So, it was very hard, in my opinion, for that aspect. One of the most frustrating moments yesterday, though, was the Adam Schefter tweet. I don't know if you saw it. His initial tweet yesterday was, Dwayne Haskins, a standout at Ohio State before struggling to catch on with Washington and Pittsburgh in the NFL, died this morning when he got hit by a car in South Florida, per his agent Cedric Saunders. Haskins would have turned 25 years old on May 3rd. Every single person went after Schefter for that tweet. Why did you have to include before struggling to catch on with Washington? Before, in Pittsburgh? It doesn't matter. Respect the man's life. And, it was awesome in a way to see all the players coming back and trying to defend him. And you had your Steeler players like Joe Hayden. If you watch back, there's a Chase Claypool video that he released when he first found out what happened. And it was, it was awesome in a way to see all the players coming back and trying to defend him. And you had your Steeler players like Joe Hayden. If you watch back, there's a Chase Claypool video that he released when he first figured out what found out. And it was, it was awesome in a way to see all the players coming back and trying to defend him. And it was the stories that some of those players would tell about how like he walked in the locker room at Pittsburgh and was like a beaming light. You know, he was an awesome figure to see. They loved talking to him. They loved working with him. I mean, it shows right there that on Friday, Mitch Trubisky called all the specialty players down on the floor to the Boca Raton, right? Mm-hmm. So Najee went, Claypool went, Freiermuth went. The only person that didn't go was Johnson, but I don't know if he's like hurt or something. Or I think it's something about his whole contract that he's fighting too.
Probably.
But even some of the linemen went, like Kendrick Green. But Dwayne went. Dwayne went to go be with Mitch because he knows that Mitch is probably going to be his backup. I mean, he was going to be Mitch's backup, and he wanted to work with him. He was trying to put the extra work in. Mason Rudolph was nowhere to be found. And the sad thing was, Mason Rudolph made a tweet yesterday that I'll look up that really showed he has no care for the situation. He wrote one word: devastated. That's not my quarterback.
No, I don't think anyone cares for Mason Rudolph. I don't think anyone likes his demeanor, his personality, his attitude personally. I said it when they drafted him. It was a wasted pick.
Oh yeah,
and I'm still saying it to this day. And I have friends that went to Big 12 schools like West Virginia and stuff that are, oh my God, this is the guy. This is the guy. He didn't play terrible. He doesn't play terrible, but he doesn't play good. He doesn't play great.
And here's my frustration: like he clearly doesn't. He shows that he doesn't care about his players because Mitch has been here for a month,
give or take.
Mitch writes a statement: "I'm absolutely heartbroken. Dwayne made such an impact on my life in a short period of time. He welcomed me to this team in his big heart and infectious smile. I am so thankful to have known Dwayne. All my love and prayers are with his family." Rudolph writes, "I'm devastated. Get him out of Pittsburgh right now. He clearly doesn't show that,
Well, now with, what's just happened, I know we said we're going to talk about this next week. They're going to bring in another quarterback of some kind, via trade or draft. I'm thinking it's going to be draft at 20, and they're going to take whoever falls. It doesn't matter if it's Ritter, Willis, Pickett, Corral. It doesn't matter. Hart goes out to his family and his wife. He was just going to turn 25 within the next few weeks.
Well, he just got married last summer too, and I'll end with this: where I was very excited for him when he got drafted to go to Washington. That's where he's from. Mm-hmm. But it's always hard to go back to where you're from because all your friends are there from high school, and I think that's the bad rap he got. I don't think it was his preparation. I don't think it was his ability at Washington. I just think he had too many outside factors. And so when they said that he was getting signed last year to come in to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, I was really excited for him because I thought he could be just like Big Ben. Similar style when Ben was younger. Bigger quarterback, great arm, can run a little bit when Ben was younger. And I was super excited. And that's where I got his jersey. I went down to the Steelers store and got it customized so I could have one. And I'm so thankful I am. And I do want to give a shout out to one of my students because they knew how much I loved Dwayne Haskins. When he played in that slow pitch tournament, or the slow pitch game at the Wild Thing Stadium, because Dwayne was there, my student, Jake Kochman, he took a softball and got it signed by Dwayne. And I have it in my middle school band office. So that's something I'm going to forever cherish now. And, I said yesterday, that if I didn't have a lot of things going on today, I was going to drive out to Ohio State because they made a beautiful memorial for him outside the stadium. But, yeah, my heart goes out to number 7. Simba, Dwayne, the King, always love you, and you will never be forgotten. So, let's go ahead and move on.
Let's jump right into the national championship Monday night.
I can't believe it was this week. It feels like forever ago.
I know. You know what? I don't understand why they play a national championship game on at 9:30 at night.
That's what I exactly wanted to talk about.
Why didn't that game start at 8:30? End around 10:30.
I can understand one aspect of it because they were in New Orleans, so an hour behind. I get that.
Is New Orleans an hour behind?
Yeah. So, but still, start the game at 8:00 our time, at 7:00 their time. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. They do that with isn't the football national championship late at night too?
Yeah,
it's not a 9:00 start, but it's at 8:30.
Yeah,
I don't understand that whole start time.
I don't understand why the hell they play it on a Monday night.
I don't either.
Why wouldn't you play it on Saturday night?
But they do the same thing with football.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't you play it on...
I can understand the whole... If they would do Friday, Sunday like the girls do.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I understand, too, if they don't want them out of school as much longer either. They've been out for 2 weeks, in and out. You know, I get that. But, I don't know. I didn't understand that. I mean, it was a heck of a game, though.
No, Kansas was down by 16 at one point and came back from 15 down at the half to stun North Carolina. Largest comeback in championship game history. Did you know that?
Really?
Yes.
Did not know that.
Kansas ends up winning the national championship 72-69.
You know what's crazy? I'm looking.
Thank God. I hate them Tar Heels.
You know what's crazy? Though? I'm looking like the big box score of like quarter by quarter or half by half. So it's 40-25 coming into halftime. North Carolina. But then the spread, because Kansas won by 3, was 47-29 in the second half. Like, that's just insane. Of two different... It's like the tale of two cities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no commonality of that. I do want to talk about briefly, though, even though they said that it wasn't a manufacturing issue. Did you see the whole Baycott thing with the floor?
Yes.
I'm tired of it, in a way, because, like, those courts aren't designed to be long-lasting. They're temporary courts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it's taken us this long to have some big injury like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand what they want to do by having, the larger capacity venues. But, like, give me a break. Who cares? Play it on a court, like, play it in an NBA arena. I don't know. That's always bugged me. I mean, and, like...
I get with, your first 2 rounds in your Sweet 16 and Elite 8 playing, on temporary courts because you play back-to-back days.
Right.
So, I mean, let's just say it starts playing on Friday, the court goes down on Wednesday. But no one's on it.
But you also look at it, too, this way of, like... So, use PPG Arena, right?
Yeah, I was there this past year.
So, they play basketball on it occasionally.
Yes.
It's
that when they built that arena, it was designed. It has extra locker rooms and stuff like that.
Right.
It was designed to host other events so the city could bring in more money.
What I'm saying is, like, when's the last time the Superdome hosted a freaking basketball game? Probably the last time the Final Four came there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that floor is not being used. I don't know. It's always frustrated me. It's a stupid thing in my opinion, but I don't know.
So Kansas, your 2022 national champions. I want to segue into this.
Good.
So we're going to jump straight into the NFL. There was a lot of big headlines this past week. How about this? I think it came out on Tuesday. New Orleans and Philadelphia make that huge blockbuster deal.
Why do you think that happened?
Well, I said it before. If Philadelphia wanted to make a move, they're going to trade back, not forward.
Correct.
And that's ultimately what happened. The Eagles received the 18th pick, the 101st third-round pick, the 237th pick, a 7th-round pick this year. So those all 3 come this year. Next year, they get the New Orleans first-round pick, and the following year, they get New Orleans second-round pick. So 2024 second-round pick, 2023 first.
That's not bad. I mean, that's a heck of a haul.
That's a nice haul. The 7th round really doesn't matter, but it's just a nice bonus selection.
The 3rd round is something still. I mean, and you're not... So they got... Did they not lose... They lost 1 first-round pick, right? So they now still... So instead of 3...
Yes, because New Orleans was picking 19 ahead of Pittsburgh already.
Right, so then instead of 3 picks this year, they have 2 and 2 next year.
Or no, wait, am I confused? Because I have down here the Saints received the 16th overall pick, the 19th pick, and the 194th pick, which is a 6th-round selection this year.
You sent me the picture. I'm pulling it up right now.
Did you? I know I sent it to you as soon as it happened because I was like, whoa, and you text me back about an hour later, and you were like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, so it was 18, 101, 237, 2023, 1, 2024, 2, 16, 19, 194.
Yeah, so the Eagles get...
Yeah, so I mean, you go from 3 picks to 2 picks, which is not a bad thing.
You know what that tells me? New Orleans is taking a quarterback. It's exactly what it tells me. They're taking a quarterback at 16. Because there's still going to be receivers at 19.
Flip the coin, though. I don't think they need to take a quarterback at 16. Because I still think there's quarterbacks there at 19.
There might be. Who's picking in?
Hold on. I'm going to pull up our mock drafts because we were doing some of this week. Okay, so 16 is now New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
17 is the Chargers. They're not taking quarterback.
No.
18 is the flip-flop pick to New Orleans. Right?
Yeah, that should be the Eagles picking at 18.
The Eagles pick at 18, right?
Yeah, 18th pick. Eagles are sick pick.
They're not taking quarterback. And then you got 19, the Eagles. 19,
New Orleans.
New Orleans again.
But you could have a team that's behind them. You could have Detroit trade up. You could have Pittsburgh trade up. Take a quarterback.
Yeah, but I just don't. I don't see that happening. To be honest, I'd rather if I'm the Saints. I mean, again, I don't think as rationally as some GMs do. But they want a receiver as well.
They do. They need one. Michael Thomas is on his way out of New Orleans.
Where I see the Chargers taking a receiver. I think it's a cutthroat thing. They're going to take a receiver. Why lose out on a better guy? I mean, you might have a difference because, in my opinion, it's Drake London, Garrett Wilson, and then Jameson Williams, Chris Olave, and then everybody else. There's 2 tiers, in my opinion, in that first round. Two, then everybody else.
I think it's Garrett Wilson, Drake London, then everybody else. I think everybody else doesn't matter. I think you can take whoever you want out of Olave, Burks.
See, I think Olave and
Williamson, Dotson, and you're going to get whatever.
I think
Mel Kiper still has Dotson as like his best receiver in the draft.
I know, and I want to see if he comes out the first round. I hope he does for his sake. I don't know if that'll happen.
I think he'll end up going to like the Chiefs or the Packers late.
Yeah, because one of them will want a receiver. Well, that's like my fight is when I do a mock draft and I get to that point, like, it's hard to get down there and not have to bring him up and take him.
Yeah.
But I also see, there could be a lot of things. Who knows? But I think that trade is going to shake up in a lot of things. I agree. They're going to take quarterback in one of those 2 picks now.
And they're going to have to. There's only a couple picks in between them, and like you said, there's no one's going to take a quarterback between them. But their only concern is someone going to jump up and trade with the Chargers, or somebody going to jump up and trade with the Eagles again. But
yeah, and I do want to see what happens. I am not fully set on like that pick being the second quarterback either. Like, I think it easily could be the number 1 quarterback because I don't know what the Panthers are really going to do. Some people think they're going to take quarterback. Some people think they're not going to take quarterback. I think it's wild because I don't see a lot of quarterbacks going like normal. Yes, at the end, I think the Lions do take one at 32. Maybe.
I think they will. I think they know Jared Goff's just a bridge guy. And you know what?
Do they have a second-round pick early?
Detroit.
Do they have a 34 or do they not have 34?
I can't remember if they do or not. Everyone's just so focused on round 1. But really, rounds 1 through 4 is where your team is built.
Agreed.
5, 6, and 7. If you hit on those picks, congratulations, but not a lot of people do.
Right. But what else you got NFL-wise? Anything else?
Yes, I have a few more things I want to hit on today. The Honey Badger visits the Big Easy Tuesday afternoon. Relishes the opportunity to play for hometown Saints. He says he's in no rush to get a deal done, so meaning he's thinking after the draft. Also in talks with the Eagles and the Rams, and I heard this morning, those are the 3 frontrunners. The Steelers are on the back burner now.
Well, like
Mike Tomlin can only get so many players here to play.
I don't even think it's that. I just don't think we have enough money to pay him.
That's it.
I think that's half the problem. We don't have the money to pay him. And it sucks because I would love to have him in the secondary. Having him opposite Minka would be amazing.
Yeah, just for 1 or 2 years.
We don't have the money. We don't have the money to pay him.
No, so Honey Badger, I'm leaning towards New Orleans. It's everyone's dream to play at home.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be very interesting to see how that one shakes out.
I think it's going to be between New Orleans and the Rams. Playing at home and then playing one probably the Super Bowl favorite again this year.
I don't see the Eagles. I don't understand that one at all.
They're loading up on defense. They're probably going to take 2 defensive players their first 2 picks in the draft.
Yeah, they're going to take a linebacker, but...
We'll jump into the 2 contract extensions that happened late. So Stephon Diggs, I think it was on Wednesday, signed a 4-year, $104 million contract extension with the Bills.
Great for him.
Congratulations. The Bills owner said this is what's going to retire him in Buffalo. He'll probably get another one. This is probably a 2 to 4 year deal again. That's going to keep him in Buffalo and make him a Bill for life.
That was a great signing for every young receiver.
He's earned it.
Because he's now set the bar for DK Metcalf, for Deontay Johnson, for name them, they're there. You know what I mean? All those younger guys that are right around where they got to get their extensions. He set the bar high.
I mean, congratulations for him. He's been nothing short of amazing the past 2 years. He's been in the Buffalo. I don't think Josh Allen has to worry about it anymore. Him wanting to play with his brother in Dallas.
And I also like it too because I think they're going to bring in another receiver, which is going to make
I'm thinking they're going to take Burks or Olave, Dotson, whoever's available at wherever they're picking at.
Yep.
Calais Campbell yesterday signs a 2-year contract extension with Baltimore. Kind of a bit of a shocker when you let a guy sit there that long and kind of says, we don't want you. But he re-signs in Baltimore. I thought he might want to go back and play for his first team he played for, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Kind of more win-now mode than... Because the Cardinals' needs are on the defensive line and the offensive line.
I'm really shocked to see... Because in my opinion, I had the Ravens taking defensive line now before that pick. I don't know if they'll take defensive line. Like like we talked about before, I had a Jordan Davis kind of a player going. The Ravens. I don't know if he does now.
I mean, it could be McDuffie. It could be someone like that.
Let's see. Who did I have in my mock draft this week? I did one. I still had Deontay Wyatt going, but I think that was before.
This happened yesterday afternoon. So I mean, this is like breaking news for us. So Dave, I'm going to read some numbers to you.
Okay.
The one is going to be Lamar Jackson. And the other one, I'm going to tell you after you guess. So Lamar Jackson, through his first 15 starts, 4,120 passing yards. No, 4,120 yards total offense, sorry.
Okay.
26 touchdowns, 12 turnovers.
Not bad.
213 first downs. Here's player 2 through their first 15 starts. 4,115 yards of total offense. 29 TDs.
Okay.
11 turnovers. 209 first downs.
All right.
Who is it? If you can guess any quarterback over the past couple years through their first 15 starts.
Kyler Murray?
Jalen Hurts. And or not Hurts, guys. I mean, it was fun watching them in Alabama and Oklahoma, especially.
Agreed.
Jalen Hurts is more of a pro quarterback than Lamar Jackson is. He just is.
Yeah.
He's willing to be a pocket passer. We saw him be a pocket passer at Oklahoma. We saw him be a pocket passer at Alabama for all those years. So, I mean, Eagles fans, this is going to be a test year for Jalen Hurts. Can he, win you guys 9 games again, 10 games again, get you guys to the playoffs? We're going to know if the Eagles are going to take a quarterback in next year's draft after this season.
Last NFL talk that I want to make, I was sitting here because
I have a fun fact for you too. After you're done,
I'm not really keen on, as I was doing my mock drafts, and I haven't told you this one yet. I think there's a big trade in the first 5. I don't think Houston stays with their number 3 pick.
See, if there was a trade in the top 5, I think Jackson would move down.
No. Here's my thought, and I was just doing this while you were talking about that one. So, who has draft capital now that wants a quarterback? The Saints, right?
No one's.
And it's very rumored that the Panthers want to take a quarterback at 6. But they haven't said which one they wanted to take because they've looked at all 3 of them between Willis, Pickett, and Howe. What if the Texans trade to the Saints? You take 16 and 19, give them to the Texans for number 3, straight up.
That would certainly blow a lot of people's mock drafts.
But wouldn't it make sense?
They
jump up.
If New Orleans is that keen on taking a quarterback and they're that sold on a quarterback out of this draft class, then yes. But like I said, out of the 5 guys, we have Willis, Pickett, Howe, Corral, and Desmond Ridder. A lot of people like Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, that's really blowing my mind.
And I like Desmond Ridder too. I thought he was a good quarterback.
I don't like him as a first-round quarterback, though.
So there's potentially 5 quarterbacks going in round 1. Because we always say, Desperation comes out when it comes to quarterback play.
I don't think all 5 will go, though. I think about 3 will go.
If they're that sold on one of these guys, then you do it. But like I said, I don't think one of these guys should go in round 1. I don't.
No, I don't think so either. They're not the round 1 quarterbacks.
I think if one of them goes round 1, it should be Malik Willis. But like you said, I'm going to guarantee at least 3 go, but I'm really thinking all 5 are going to go.
Yeah. The only thing that's going to hurt, though, is if the Saints would pull that trigger, they will not get a receiver in the first round.
No, but this is really deep wide receiver class.
You
can get someone really good in the second round if you don't have to give up that pick.
Because, I mean, I'm still...
Hell, if I'm New Orleans, you know what I'm saying. Throw Cooks in that deal.
Yeah.
Let him come home. Come back. We drafted him. We want him back.
Just have it be the third...
Yeah, he just signed a 2-year extension.
Texans first round plus Cooks for 16 and 19.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he just signed a 2-year contract extension with Houston, so Houston's not going wide receiver round 1 now, and he's not on the chopping block anymore. But if that was a deal maker,
and Houston,
you push Cooks out and say thank you for your service.
And Houston needs players,
so
they could have. They go with this deal. They go from 2 picks to 3 picks.
So you get your wide receiver when you get that 3rd pick.
Right. I mean, it was a thought that I had. I originally had them flopping picks with the Giants because I don't see, and you and I fight on this one. I still see the Jaguars going after Hutchinson. I don't see them drafting that tackle. I'd love to. I think he's the better player. But I think they're going to go after the defensive lineman.
That's why I said if someone were to move down, I'd see Jackson move down. I think they're more worried about protecting the Cadillac right now than...
Right.
You know, I mean,
I hope
Aiden Hutchinson's going to be a phenomenal NFL player. Let's get that out of the way.
I hope for his sake. But then, so if Aiden Hutchinson would go 1, and then you have, my opinion, if he goes 1, Hamilton's going 2.
Oh, yes.
So then you're sitting at 3, where the Texans need a lot of players.
I mean, they can go get tackle. They can go
right.
Thibodeau.
But so
Stingley.
But here's my frustration. Not my frustration. Here's my argument with the 2 Giants picks. One of the Giants picks at 5 and 7 are going to be a tackle.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
You can't draft 2 tackles. So if they make a deal with Houston to change up to 3, they can get Thibodeau. And then they can get their tackle at 5 or at 7. Because there's still going to be tackles available because there's 3 of them. Because in my opinion, the Jets aren't taking a tackle. They're taking probably best available player on the board.
Yeah.
And
if it happens to be a tackle,
but it's probably going to be Derek Stingley Jr.
I mean, it could be Drake London.
I think they get Drake London at the 10th pick.
I think last week we had them taking a tackle, and then with the 10th pick, we had them taking Drake London.
Yeah, we had, but
it was some way. It was some way.
But I don't see them taking a tackle. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so if the Jets don't take a tackle, then because truly, if the Texans still draft at 3, they're taking Kayvon, 100%.
Yeah, I mean you're going to replace J.J. Watt,
right? And if they go the way I'm thinking with Hutchinson going 1 overall, then 4 is going to Stingley. 5 then goes to one of the tackles. 6 goes to Willis. Who's there for your 7th pick? The edge rusher from Purdue, I guess, maybe? I don't know.
Who is picking 7?
That's what the Giants do.
The Giants?
So I could see them because they're not going to take a corner. They don't need corner. They need linebacker help. But that's too much of a stretch for Devin Lloyd. And Trayvon Walker's not, in my opinion, or the guy from Purdue, high enough to take it 7 overall. That's where I could see the Giants will do something with that 2nd pick. Either trade back a little bit or trade forward. It'll be interesting. That's what I looked into this week. But all right, let's jump into some Major League Baseball talk. So, before opening day, the Pirates signed Key Brian Hayes to what, 8-year?
8-year, $70 million deal, which would keep him here until 2030.
Great signing. I know you and I don't think it's the same.
It's a good signing, but my thing is, so this team's not going to win for the next, let's just say, 3 to 4 years. He might not be here. There's a good chance, like, they get a an offer that's a king's ransom to deadline from, a real contender, if it's, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Giants, somebody that's saying, hey, like, we're going to give you all this.
But guess
for
what?
Him.
We're not tied to that money then.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a bad contract, but he might be here, he might not be here. I'm not saying, run out and buy your Key Brian Hayes jerseys now, if you're a Pirates fan like me and you are.
See, but I like the signing because I'm a little frustrated with him right now because of the whole Brian Reynolds thing. They wouldn't sign him, but now they're talking about giving him a 2-year extension.
There was rumors he was going to be a Padre.
Right.
A few weeks back before day.
But you keep Key Brian Hayes there at third for the next 8 years. O'Neal Cruz is coming.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to play shortstop next year or by June. I love Cole Tucker. Great player. He can't hit.
No.
Kevin Newman at second base. Should play at second base. But that kid, Diego Castillo, I think his name is, phenomenal second baseman. They have a catcher coming up in 2 years. The kid they just drafted.
Mm-hmm.
I see him because
that's like Hayes. You could have seen him getting shopped. If Diego's going to be coming up, they're talking. People might be coming up sooner rather than later.
I don't think Hayes gets shopped though because there's no third baseman prospect behind him. They're all shortstop, second base. But what I'm saying though is like
no, I'm not saying like right now. I'm saying like next year. If Diego Castro's coming up and then Brian Hayes,
but he's playing second.
Or Key Brian Hayes is back.
Diego plays second base. He doesn't play third.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
So that's where I'm like a little bit on edge because this could do something. The issue we have though is we have no starting pitching. We have a couple coming up, but they're a little ways away. Like Mitch Keller can be in decent number 2, number 3. Quinn Priester, who's in AAA or AA, I believe, could be a great pitcher. They're kicking themselves because they put the whole player to be named later in the trade to was it Tampa for Chris Archer? Was they gave away Austin Meadows? They gave away
again over the week.
Right. They gave away Tyler Glasnow and Shane Baz. Who Shane Baz is a phenomenal pitcher. Where if he was still here, he'd be starting to anchor that rotation. My concern is a couple of things. I'm concerned at first base. We have no first baseman. We have one in I think he's either in double or triple. His name's Mason Martin. Good power bat. My catcher concerns aren't there because Henry Davis will be up in about 2 years, the guy that they drafted this year. I think it was stupid because I think they should have went after starting pitching and just kept Stallings.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he will do a nice job. If they can keep Brian Reynolds around, I don't think they will be able to. Where Cole Tucker or O'Neal Cruz will have to transition to one of the outfield spots. Mm-hmm. And then there's a guy, Travis Swaggerty. He was a pick, in my opinion, that hasn't got a chance. I think he's in AAA playing decent in center field. There was a right fielder I just read about him, Cal Mitchell. It's not bad. Jackson Smith and Jigba, the receiver at Ohio State.
Yeah.
His brother is in the Pirates organization playing left field. Doing really well. Kanan, I believe his name is.
It was like AAA or something he's playing in?
Double or triple, yeah. And then, like right field's a concern of mine, and left field. And we have some younger players there. There's a guy that we stole from Penn State, Lonnie White Jr.
Yeah.
He was going to be a phenomenal receiver, and he ended up wanting to go there. I mean, you got Bubba Chandler, who's same thing, high school, college freshman. Now he's in our organization.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think this new organizational leadership is doing a lot better. I'm not fully convinced though of what's going to happen. I think we could be in a better space, but again, we have to spend some money on pitching. We don't have any pitching. We have a couple decent ones. I mean, Keller's not bad, but it's just not fully there.
No, it hasn't been there since they made the playoffs. Was
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but other than that, for the Pirates, they lose opening day to rival St. Louis 9-0, and they lose again last night. Was it 6-2?
6-2, yep.
So it's going to be another long summer for baseball in the Berg.
Yeah, I feel bad. My mom's actually taking her course down singing the national anthem on Thursday.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
And I'm not going to be able to get there because we're supposed to play a game on Thursday. But I did tell her if somehow we're rained out or something and they're still playing, I'd make my way down there. Who's starting? That's what I want to look at. So we play today at what, 1? No, 215. Who's going for us? Let's see. Bryce Wilson, no idea who that is. And Steven Matz. Steven Matz is a good lefty. We're going to lose again. Love it. But, anyway. What do you got next on our list today?
So let's get into Penguin talk. We don't talk about the Penguins that much. Because, they're self-sufficient. They usually take care of themselves. Postseason lock pretty much every year. They're going to make the postseason this year. But they've been on kind of a slide lately. So they lose 3-0 to the Rangers Thursday night. And mind you, Crosby didn't play. So, the franchise guy didn't play. They played Washington yesterday and lost 6-3. They were up 3-2 after the first.
Uh-huh.
They were 4-6 in their last 10 prior to yesterday's game. So now they're 4-7.
Okay.
This team's going to get matched up with either the Rangers again, which are surging at the right time, and the Hurricanes, who've been phenomenal all year in round one in the Stanley Cup playoffs. If they keep playing this way, they're going to be one and done.
Oh yeah.
And to me, Sullivan's seat's starting to get toasty. They've lost in the first round since 2019, and in 2018 they lost in the second round to the eventual Stanley Cup champions. I just don't know after this year of losing the first round again, you say our coach is safe. Yeah, he won 2 Stanley Cups for this team, but that was 5 or 6 years ago. 2016 and 2017.
So how would it remind me? Because I always forget this stat. 82 game season.
82 game season.
Okay, so we're at 73 right now.
Yeah,
and we are 8 points back from Carolina and the Rangers.
Yes.
How many teams will they take from the Metro? 3.
They'll take 3 teams from the Metro, 3 teams from the Atlantic, and then 2 wild card teams. And as of right now, their 2 wild card teams are, I think, Tampa Bay and Washington.
Yeah, it's a lock that we're going to make the playoffs.
So,
see that.
Yes, because after those 2 teams in the wild card positions, it just drops off tremendously. So even if they play a wild card spot, they're going to end up playing either Florida or Carolina. And you don't want that.
That's what I want to look at to see, who do we play down the stretch? Do we have a lot of competition down the stretch that we can't get games?
I haven't looked at the schedule down the stretch. It's just...
Oh, yeah, we don't have an easy stretch. So we play the Predators today.
Yeah, at 3 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Oh, 4 o'clock, sorry. 3 o'clock was yesterday.
Then the Islanders, which they're not a horrible team. We play them back-to-back days. Well, back-to-back. We play them at New York on Tuesday, at the PPG on Thursday.
Yep.
So those are 2 winnable games for me. We have to win those ones. Then we go play the Bruins.
Yep.
Twice.
Mm-hmm.
Then we play the Red Wings. That's a win. Flyers. That's a win. Oilers. That's a competitive game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Blue Jackets. That's a win. There's, in my opinion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 must-win games. That gets you 10 points.
Yeah, even their record against winning teams, upper-level teams this year, isn't that good. They lost 2 games to Colorado. I think one was on last Saturday and one was on Tuesday.
The Colorado loss wasn't that bad, though.
No, neither one of them were that bad. I think one was 6-4, one was 3-2. But that one to Washington yesterday hurts. That was a must-win game.
Yep.
Thursday night against the Rangers was much must-win, even though Crosby didn't play.
So what did I said there are 5 of them that we are ranked higher. Okay, so let's go to the Capitals. They play the Bruins today.
It's toughy.
Flyers must win.
Mm-hmm.
Maple Leafs, that's a tough game.
That's another tough.
Canadians, that's a must win.
Yes.
Avalanche, it's a hard game.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas, hard game. Coyotes must win.
Mm-hmm.
Maple Leafs again. Islanders twice, must win. And the Rangers. They're in a similar spot.
Yes, very similar. They're also a few points behind us. I think it's 4.
They are officially 4, yes.
4. That's what I thought.
Okay, so
I checked.
Explain to me, because I don't really get into hockey a lot until it actually happens.
The postseason happens. Yeah, I know.
So if we slide into the 3rd spot in the Metro, then do we play the 2nd team in the East?
We'll play the second. No, we'll play the 2nd team in the Metro. The first round, you're playing your division.
Oh, okay.
The second round, you're more than likely playing your division, and in the conference finals, you'll play somebody different.
So we would play number 2 in the Metro.
We're going to play the Rangers.
And then But so how does
if
that
it
work?
would begin today, we would play the New York Rangers, right?
Yes. But how does that work though with so who if the Capitals get the wild card spot, right?
Yes.
Who do they play?
So if
do they cross over?
Who is first? Who is the top 3 in the Atlantic right now?
Florida, Toronto, Boston.
So Toronto would play Boston.
Okay.
And then the lowest wild card seed would play the best seed in the playoffs.
So it's send the Capitals to Florida.
And then
which is scary because if we slide to the wild card, that's really one and done.
And then Tampa would play Carolina. And,
how have we done against the Rangers this year?
Not good.
Lost 3-0.
I think they're 0-4.
Lost 5-1, 3-2. Well, we beat them 1-0. So what? 3-1. Well, 1-3 so far.
Yes.
I'm seeing. And then let's see. Back in December now.
I mean, mind you, the Rangers built a team, and if we were making bets right now, who were to come out of the East, I like the New York Rangers a lot.
Oh, we play them again at the end of the season, don't we? Didn't I say that? No, we don't.
No.
We only play them 4 times?
I think so. Did you get the whole way back to October?
I did. I think I got, unless I missed one, which could be possible. But, it's sad, in my opinion, because I think there's a lot of talent there for Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
But Crosby and Malkin are getting older and older and older. The window's closed.
The dynasty's dying.
Yeah.
There's still a chance because you have 87 and 71 and 58. But
71 hasn't done anything.
They're older guys now. You want to keep the core together. But, we saw this same thing happen with the San Antonio Spurs. There's another great dynasty that died a few years ago.
Yep.
The New England Patriots, that dynasty ended. They had a losing season.
That's what it eventually has to come to an end. But it sucks watching it come to an end.
And then, you have selfish people like, oh, I want to see one more with this group, one more good run with this group. You had a lot of good runs. You had that one year they went to the conference final and got swept by Boston. That team was loaded. That was 2013. Mm-hmm. You had a Stanley... They went back-to-back, 08 and 09. They won one.
This group has won 3 cups.
And then you went back-to-back in 16 and 17.
Right.
And, you won both those.
Well, I think 08 we should have won that cup.
I do too. I think Hostess should have tapped in that puck. It was a different animal back then for those guys. Mind you, those guys were 20 years old, 21 years old.
There we go.
They've never been there, done that. The next year they could say, hey, we've been here before. Mm-hmm. We know what to expect, and they played the same team in Detroit. But, and then there's all those years with the Crosby injuries, the Malkin injuries. Are we ever going to get back? Then Dan Bosman leaves. They bring in Mike Johnston for a quick stint. That doesn't work out. And then they hire Sully.
He got a great start, but I don't think he can continue it.
No, the NHL is a league. It flip-flops play every year. Mm-hmm. So for a few years, it was finesse teams. They were winning cups. Pittsburgh, 2016 and 17. We're winning the cup, making another good run in 18, losing to the Capitals.
Because you got to be quick. That was the game back then. Now it's a physical game.
A few years before that, it was a physical game. The LA Kings, the Chicago Blackhawks, physical hockey.
That's why we lost every year.
Boston, going to a couple cups and winning one of them. But it's not that finesse game anymore.
What do you think the game is right now?
I think it's kind of a hybrid game.
I do too. I think it's a mixture.
You have to be physical. You have to be fast. You have to have a quick transition.
And we don't really have that physical mantra. We have still the quick mantra.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it is, and that's what it will be. With guys like Sidney Crosby, who like to play fast, Evgeny Malkin, who like to play fast, Brian Rust, Jake Gensel. Now they bring McKellen. He likes the fast game. That's what he was in Anaheim, but that's not what they do out there.
Right.
But, no, it's going to be an interesting year for the Stanley Cup playoffs, to say the least. NBA playoffs as well. That regular season wraps up this week.
Why is the NHL waiting a little bit longer this year? Is it because of the whole?
I think they paused for COVID and the Olympics, but they didn't end up playing in the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
But
because I was looking back
because usually those seasons end 3 days apart.
Well, I was looking back on my time hop because at this time last year they were announcing the first round of the playoff, or a couple of years ago they were announcing the first round of the playoffs, and I was really confused. But yeah, if you really want to talk NBA, we can briefly. I mean, I think
we have some time to kill today. Yeah,
I think it's kind of a joke that the Lakers are not making the playoffs.
No, you know what? LeBron will end up being off that team in a year after a year or so. He's come out and said publicly he wants to play with Steph Curry. So he's probably going to go to Golden State for a year, win another title, and then play with Bronny for a year or two, and then be done.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. It's absurd. I'm not a LeBron James guy. I used to be.
I used to be, too.
When he played for the Cavs, his first stint. And then he went to Miami. That was okay. I get it. And then you go back to Cleveland. Then you sign a huge contract that's ridiculous in L.A.
I do like, though, the balance of power now is kind of shifted in the NBA.
Yes.
I mean, you got Miami's leading the East, Milwaukee's there, Boston and Philly are right behind them. Then in the West, I mean, you got Phoenix, you got Memphis,
Dallas,
and everybody else. Because, Golden State's 12 games back of Phoenix, Dallas is 13 of Phoenix, then you got Utah and Denver 16 games back. I mean, it's cool to see a little bit of difference of power.
Phoenix is a powerhouse. They've always been one of my teams that I've actually watched.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Miami, because I used to love Shaquille O'Neal and Dwayne Wade. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting playoff. Phoenix was very, very young last year, and they have an all-star on that team who's older. Everyone loves him because he doesn't cry.
Talking about Chris Paul?
I'm talking about Chris Paul.
I love Chris Paul.
He's he bounced around. He played for the Hornets. He played for the Thunder when they weren't very good, but he still got him to the playoffs one year, I believe.
Yeah.
He doesn't complain.
No.
It's no whining. He goes and he plays. And you know what? I'm really hoping Phoenix can make the finals this year for him, and they can win it.
Yeah.
But, the team with the best record in the NBA playoffs doesn't always win it.
No. I am excited tonight. I'm going to finally go back. I was frustrated on Thursday. I get home. So I had practice till 5, and I came home to watch the opening day, realizing the Dish Network got rid of AT&T Sportsnet. And I was so frustrated. So I haven't been a chance really to watch baseball yet, a lot. But I'm going to go home tonight because on ESPN on the Sunday night game is the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry.
Yeah, they played last night too.
So,
no, it's ridiculous. You can't get AT&T Sportsnet unless you have Comcast, I think, and DirecTV.
I think it's on Xfinity and
yes,
yeah,
well, Xfinity, Comcast,
yeah,
same damn thing. But it's ridiculous because my wife and I, we refuse to pay for cable. It's absurd what you pay for cable.
What do you do for yours?
We do Hulu Plus. And
do you like that?
Love it. I'll never own cable ever unless for some weird reason.
ESPN with that?
Well? Yes. So, we do the Hulu Plus bundle. So we pay it's 80-something bucks a month. We get Hulu Plus, so you get the live TV.
Okay.
We get the Disney Plus, because, you have to have the Disney movies.
Right, absolutely.
And then ESPN Plus, which is for me, with, watching sports. And, they have hockey games on there and stuff like that, too.
Hulu Plus, do you get CBS Sports and all those, or no?
You get CBS, I don't think you...
Not sports, but you get CBS, ABC, NBC,
yes.
Fox.
Yeah, local channels 2, 4, 11. Yep.
Okay.
We don't get AT&T Sportsnet. And what I heard is it's not the Pittsburgh Penguins holding up that deal.
It's Pirates.
It's the Pittsburgh Pirates with Bob Nutting.
Really?
Yes.
Not surprised.
Not a shocker there.
We were talking about getting rid of our... because we have over 4 DVRs for Dish right now.
Yeah.
And we were talking about not doing the Hulu Plus, but doing the bundle, or ESPN Plus, regular Hulu, and Disney Plus.
Yep.
Because we're paying $10.99 for Disney Plus. That bundle's $13 or $14.99, and then go in the Roku style, because we could put the Dish Network app on the Roku and only have one box and be able to do everything with one box. So, but looking forward to a little bit of high school sports. Cut one half of a game in this week. We tried to fight the rain. Unfortunately, we were off on Monday, the most beautiful day of the week last week.
Yeah.
And that was just, our off day in the section, which sucked. Mm. We pushed up Tuesday's start time to 3 o'clock start. We got to the 4th inning, and we got washed out. So we got to make up that game when we go down and play them. We'll see if I can get a game in tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get that game in.
There's a chance for rain earlier this week. It's not like astronomical.
No, it's just
last week.
So we'll see. We're going through a little bit of an injury bug right now, trying to manage it, and it's the hardest thing you get. And I told the girls on Thursday or Wednesday, one of the days, I said it's going to be a grind. I mean, we are in the point. Everyone's in the same boat. You know, at this point,
hell, the season just started. You guys have only played like 2 games.
We've played 3 official ones.
Yeah.
And so technically, at this point, we should have already played 1, section 1. I'll even say non-section. We were supposed to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tomorrow should have been our 9th game overall.
And tomorrow's like your 3rd or 4th.
Tomorrow's our official 4th if it plays it. And we should be at our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th section game. Technically, it's our 3rd because we started at 1 was a section game, and then we'll make it up later on. But we got a big week. We're trying to make up a couple games. I got one of the section games last week scheduled to make up that one. The Friday game, we haven't found a date yet, so we may end up playing that one this week as well. So we shall see. It's going to be a grind, though. I told the girls that like every team's in the same boat. You know, nobody around in this area has turf in our section, so they're not getting games in. At least we are able to practice on the turf. So we are going to go out tonight and do some defense on the turf, but it sucks.
Yeah, it does. And, you know, no one around here has a turf, you know, baseball field, softball field.
No, the closest ones to our area, Trinity has one, and West Mifflin has one.
Yeah, you're talking teams that are in...
Right, 4 and 5A.
Yeah, and the South Hills of Pittsburgh, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah, so it sucks. We're all in the same boat, but we shall see. I mean, it's going to be a grind to get to the end of the season, and just it's all we can ask. I told the girls, I said, you just got to fight for me. Mm-hmm. Keep fighting. So we're supposed to play it to tomorrow. If we get tomorrow's game in, we will get Wednesday's game in because Wednesday's at Fraser, and their field drains very well. So tomorrow is a home game for me, and we'll see. And then just gotta play things by ear, unfortunately. But a cool thing, I'm gonna venture out on Friday. My travel team, my Lady Halo's 16U travel team, a couple of girls texted me on Saturday morning. No, I think it may have been Thursday or Friday. They want to go to a Pitt game, so we're going to go down Friday night on Good Friday to watch Pitt softball, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, who are they playing? Good.
Boston College.
Oh, yeah, should be seeing a good game. ACC play.
They're kind of struggling. They've won one game in the ACC.
Who, Pitt?
Yeah, they're not a great softball program. It's a cool venue down there. But yeah, so it should be a fun weekend going into the Easter holiday, trying to spend some time with family and celebrating the resurrection of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yep.
But
start scheduling people for our porch tour coming up.
Get the porch tour going, and we're going to be cooking.
Weeks. Yep.
So we will be off next week to let both of us spend some time with the family. We will be back in studio probably the 24th is what we talked about, Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Last mock draft, right?
Last mock draft, and the draft is the Thursday, the 28th?
Yeah, 4 days later.
Should be exciting. So, for Brandon and for Dave, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully the technical difficulties, we made it through a recording without having to pause and stop.
I know, isn't that amazing?
And I have no idea what happened last week, so we are still trying some kicks out with this new microphone that we've been using, and working our way through it. So, for Brandon and for Dave, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. A big, just professional sports recap, I guess. We went through a lot of different groups. So.
Yeah, we jumped around a lot today.
But I will name it the Dwayne Haskins Tribute Show. Rest in peace to Simba. Thank you for listening.
Happy Easter, Dave.
Goodbye.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for listening. For the latest updates on this show and what's going on with Limitless Sports with the BD team, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on Facebook.